study that was nationally done starting in 1995, looking at 7th through 12th grade adolescents. So what we found was that there was actually no difference between Asian Americans and European Americans and their suicide ideations and suicide attempts. However, for their depressive rates, Asian Americans actually rated themselves higher for depression as opposed to European Americans. I also looked at social capital, social isolation, and their academic self-efficacy. So what we actually find was that Asian Americans and European Americans, there were no significant differences between their social isolation. So social isolation was how individuals perceive themselves among their network of friends, whereas social capital was how do individuals perceive others to care for them. So what we actually find for social capital was that Asian Americans that was only a significant predictive factor for their suicide ideations, or suicide attempts rather, whereas for European Americans, it was only for their suicide attempts. For academic self-efficacy, European Americans, that was a significant factor for both of their suicide attempts and suicide ideations, as opposed to Asian Americans. Academic self-efficacy was only significant for their suicide attempts. So that sums up my research, but in conclusion, what we can find from this is that more research can be done looking at Asian Americans and their suicide ideations and suicide attempts, because they do have, there is no significant differences between their rates, so it is an important factor to look at, and look at their social capital and surroundings as well. Future research that I'm doing with this is looking at generational status and their